السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 55.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Dr. Sheikh Mufti.
Alhamdulillah. Holidays, relaxing,
Are you actually?
reading a lot, catching up on reading.
MashaAllah. What are you reading?
At the moment,
What are you reading?
a book on Usul
Shades of
al-Fiqh. I have to prepare it for a course, so that's enjoyable. And on legal theory,
Okay.
principles of how the rulings are derived, and also on about ladies' issues. So there's a book, it's about 400 pages.
Written by Andrew Tate?
no, not those ladies. It's Birgivi was an Ottoman Mufti, and he wrote a book, and then another alim from Sham, Turkish alim, he wrote the book, and then 500 years ago, and then 300 years ago, another commentary about monthly period, and that's about 500. It's a 450,
500 pages
book.
on that?
Yeah. The
Wow.
original one's like about 20 pages, 20, 30 pages.
Oh, and the commentary is 500
Mufti Abdul
pages.
Rahman, who came here, he does two courses, one on that book and one another one. He's done it. You can buy it on. You can go online. Where is it? White Thread. Yeah. So it's for alimas, and it's like one course is 40 hours, the other one's 30 hours, 70-hour course
On one topic?
on monthly period. Yeah. It's important. Like you have to,
Wow.
especially for men, like alims. Like for us, it's like it's not a topic of interest because it doesn't affect us, or we can't get our head around it. I was reading the other day, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi,
Rahmatullah alayh.
because I studied it for 9 years until I understood it.
You're understanding you're talking about Islamic rulings around it?
Yeah. But then you'll have to understand certain medical conditions. You'll have to understand certain.
Yeah, okay.
But it's 9. He said I read it for 9 years until I understood it.
And how many years have you been reading it for?
I mean, like in
One
Madrasa, we've been teaching it, so it's just. But here was like, I need to look we need to attend to. Some people need to attend to this.
Yeah.
The Mufti Abdul Rahman
just
said to me, Sheikh Abdul Rahman Mangera, Abdul Rahman Yusuf from UK, he was here recently. So he said that you need to make sure there's alimas that are trained here in Australia who are very well versed with it. Then you don't have to, as a man, then you don't have to deal with it. So, and I'm doing comparative also between Hanafi.
And I think it'd be a lot more comfortable for ladies to go to ladies anyway.
Oh yeah, of
Really?
course, yeah. I mean, of course, that's probably the bigger part, and then they can get the ladies will understand it quicker and better. But anyway, it's just that on the usul al-fiqh, and there's another on inheritance. So I'm doing comparative between Hanbali and Hanafi
Yep.
on the menstruation rulings, and then comparative between Hanafi and Hanbali on inheritance as well.
What works out better for the inheritor, Hanbali or Hanafi?
No, there's very little differences. Actually, so far, I think there's only one. I mean, and it's not even a very common thing. A grandfather, if there's no sibling, if there's no children, there's no parents, then it gets a little bit. But 90, from what I can see now, 99,
Grandfather gets a little bit.
along with the siblings of the deceased.
Right.
So there's a little bit difference there, but because it's fractions in the Quran, it's actually specifically fractions. It makes it's the chapter of fiqh that has the least difference of opinion, the most agreement on, because there's ayat, explicit verses telling you this one gets a third, this one gets in this situation, this one gets a sixth, this one gets an eighth, this one gets a quarter, this one gets a half. You can't do much with that. There's very little difference of opinion.
So with inheritances, maybe I don't know if I'm asking too much of a deep question, but is it just the kids and the wife that gets it, or do parents get some? Who gets?
No, there's a lot of layers of. So obviously, kids, parents, siblings, wife, a spouse.
Siblings get it as well?
If there's no parents, there's no kids, then
Okay.
the extended family starts to come, the distant cousins.
But if
they
there's
come out of the woodworks, they come
You're
out
gonna get all these
claiming their shares. No, they got a haq, right? So then,
So when you go, all your cousins from Pakistan are going to come.
No,
we want
but-
our
but
share.
when
Then
you-
they will
but-
be like,
no,
what
but
did he
that's
do?
if
What
you
did he
have
do with his life?
when you have kids, then it's pretty much
Straightforward.
Yeah, parents and kids. That's what blocks out pretty much everybody else.
Okay.
And those that are closer, they block out the ones that are above. So
Yep.
the parents block out the grandparents, the kids block out the grandkids, pretty much. So yeah, there's a whole system of going through
I've
it.
heard it's like the most complicated.
Not
thing
really. It
though.
takes about a month to study. Just you have to keep all the numbers. The good thing is if you memorize the verses of it, Surah Nisa, and then if you have the verses, then that it actually goes through a step-by-step
The
process.
verses of the Quran tell you exactly what's what.
Yeah. That's the basis for it. And there's some hadith as well. But it pretty much says it all. Like if you have
Ajib.
that, then you sort of have it in front of you.
Yep.
But those ayat are the most difficult to memorize
Okay.
because it's all like thuluth, a third, sudus, and they keep repeating. So
Fractions. Yeah.
yeah. So they keep they sort of can throw you off a bit, but if you actually memorize it properly, then you should be good. Anyway, it's that's how I'm spending my holidays. I mean, other than that, working out, gym, this, that, like
Yes,
it's,
Mr. Stair Climber. I'm loving your updates every day.
Yeah, I'm
What is it,
cutting.
130 floors or something now?
Yeah, one World Trade Center and a bit. I mean, I checked the World Trade Center. I think was 106 floors, so I'm doing 122 floors. I'm not sure if I can actually climb a real building, but it says 100. It says 122 floors.
Why don't you test it out?
To climb an actual building, I'm not sure
Eureka
they'll allow you
Tower.
into the stairwell of a large building.
Eureka Tower. Just turn up with your imama and with your black
Yeah,
imama.
run through
and your
start
asa.
running up the stairs
And your asa.
and doing takbir. That's a dua for climbing up to lofty.
Yeah, that's it.
stairs.
Allahu Akbar,
Yeah,
Allahu
you think I'll get to make it to the third floor? Security, but
I'm just trying to get fit, guys. Leave me alone.
no,
But I can see a difference, even in the way you walk.
yeah, okay.
You tell by the way I walk. Sorry.
Yeah, all right. It's good for the core. It's I'm cutting every day. I'm cutting the time, so I think I've already cut off 20 minutes.
You have.
So I'm 48 minutes. I do with a 5-minute break. So I'm doing 24 at the moment. But every day I'm cutting off a half a minute, 1 minute off. My
Well,
goal,
for 130 floors?
my goal is to get to 250 floors.
Wow.
So, but that requires. And yesterday I did all on. There's different levels. So level 4, but then the guys that are. So I'm doing like that's 48.
So what? With
sorry.
the stem climbers actually got different levels.
Yeah. So from
How?
1 to 20.
Like it's
Speed,
more
the speed,
resistance.
the speed that you're going,
Oh, okay.
the speed that the stairs.
Can you jump like 3 or 4 stairs, like when you
Yeah, but
run
no,
upstairs fast?
you need a pace. You need a cadence, like a pace to do consistently. Yeah, all right. And yeah, you need like a rhythm to get to the. But the average, the good stair climber. You know, there's races for that.
What?
There's actually stair climber races.
Okay, I need to
So
YouTube
they're
this.
doing like 175. I'm doing like 30, and I'm killing myself.
30 floors.
No, 36, 42, 48, 42
Minutes.
steps a minute, right?
Okay.
And they're doing 176
A minute.
a minute. And if you get to about 60 to 80, which is almost there, 60 to 80, if you get to 60 a minute, that's the minimum, like you're good. Like you're a good, yeah. It's good for cardiovascular.
Are you puffing at the end of it?
Oh, it is a good workout. But I'm cutting, like I'm not like, it takes me about 2 minutes to recover after it. So it's all right.
Mashallah, I went to the zoo on Monday with my nieces and nephews.
Talk about a segue.
I just played chasey with them,
Oh, okay.
tag or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought I was having a heart attack. That was only for 5 minutes. So that's pretty good. It's not a segue. I'm actually being
Yeah.
like just thinking back
For
to that.
40, I started off, it took me more than an hour and 10. I'm at 48 minutes. So I've cut off more than 20 minutes off now. Shaved off 20 minutes. Every day I'm cutting off a bit. I'm pushing myself a bit more. If I can get to that 60, like, first I need to get to the 60.
Steps per minute.
Which will be, every level is 6 extra steps. So I only need to get up to level 7 to get to the minimum, like it's a good pace. That's fast. That's like you
I've
almost.
gotta come
That's,
with you one
that's
day. I keep
almost
saying
you're
that.
like almost you're running, like doing a jog upstairs for 2,000 steps. So 122 floors is 2,000 steps.
2,000 steps.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and yeah. So either that or then I need to get up to 4,000 steps to get the 4,000 steps. So 2 World Trade Centers. And a bit, 2.5. I mean, whatever.
I'm not even going to go there.
It's high rises. I mean, it keeps coming to my mind. But
The Eureka Tower, is that 80 floors? How many is that?
yeah. So, yeah, it's a brilliant exercise. Like and like you're not using your arms either. You're sort of like resting your arms a little bit, but when you're lifting up, you're not allowed to. You have to keep your body straight, and you have to.
Oh, right. Just the legs.
Just the legs. It's just all legs.
leg day every day for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Today I took the day off because I didn't sleep enough last night. So,
Yep.
like, you need to sleep. You need to, like, I
Yeah.
slept this afternoon 2 hours. Like, I had to sleep, and then my whole body was aching from yesterday because I didn't sleep last night properly. So you need to actually have a proper, like, that's a very important part of
Stair climbing.
just in exercise and health things. Like, you need to,
Recovery.
you need to actually have a proper sleep. Yeah, it's and then I do the half hour, like, whenever I can. The second cardio, which is in the night. So that one's during the day, middle of the day. The night one is half an hour incline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You notice the difference?
Overall health is good. Like,
Mashallah.
alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Mashallah.
I wanted to get back to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu place. I was
Oh,
doing
in
boxing.
Fulka?
Yeah, I want to get back there. So I asked the brother, what's the best exercise to get there? Because I thought, like, stamina. All right, this is helping me, strengthening my legs. The brother said that the best thing you can do while you're not, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu itself is such a big workout, conditioning, everything's in there already. So the best thing you can do for it is just do more of it, to be more on the mat. But he said the best thing you do outside of it is yoga.
Thank you.
Not the weird religious one. Watch a proper dojo. Like, don't go searching yoga online. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's
it helps.
it's the worst. Like, it's all ladies that are there, but the guys that are from the gyms,
No,
like
there's some crazy
the,
guys on
the,
you.
the BJJ ones, do, because you know what I love about BJJ? They remove from martial arts all the weird culty stuff, like the religious stuff.
Yeah, that's
They
correct.
just treat it as a martial arts, like a sport.
It's a physical thing for the body. There's not too much spirituality in terms
Yeah, I mean, the
of
discipline comes in it,
connecting,
and respect for the respect is there. All those sort of things are there, but it's streamlined, and anybody can do it.
Yep.
So there's no religious affiliation, or it's
When are you going? You got the one in.
number one. So when they do yoga, because they need to, like, unlock and, like, a lot of the joints and to be more flexible and so forth. So they're approaching it from a BJJ perspective.
Yep.
So
What's the best way to get this guy fighting?
yeah, and also make sure you don't have an injury, and, like, certain like, you open up your chest and different ways, which helps you in doing locks and, you know, the various movements of when you're wrestling. So yeah, so yoga for BJJ, not just yoga in general. Yeah, it's a new thing. Unfortunately, it's become like people are doing exercise.
Yeah.
People turn everything halal into a haram activity. So now, like, all these people that are, it's actually intentionally done.
Yeah, the yoga thing, right?
Not just yoga. There's a lot of fitness videos that are just there to cause fitna. They're not there for the benefit of exercise. They're there for, obviously, it's to make money, but then it's made through, like, very like clothes that are worn that are not highly inappropriate.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, you shouldn't be looking at the opposite. It's totally haram, you know, a word that Andrew Tate has made very
Haram.
He's I don't. I saw
Have
something.
you been watching a lot of Andrew
No,
Tate
I
or
saw
what?
something the
What's
other
going on?
day. Someone sent me something.
Are you the top G of this podcast?
No,
I
no,
think you are.
no. I mean, he's a brother, alhamdulillah, now. Like, he guide him, and inshallah, I mean, I don't take my Islam from him, but it was just funny. He was somewhere and he said something, and he goes, well, that's just haram, you know? And then I go, and before he finished saying it, the lady there said, he goes, yeah, we know we're going to say it's haram. Like, you know, they know it as well. So at least one Sharia term has become common.
Mainstream. He's taken haram mainstream. I don't know.
So anyway, a lot of this online exercise stuff a lot of it is haram. Obviously, looking at the opposite gender, and, like, things you have to make, ghadul basar, lower your gaze, and so forth. So, but yeah, but the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, at least when they're doing it, like, they're doing it as a physical, like, you can see that, okay, they're training. This is part of their training, just like another training video. So it's really good. Yeah.
Okay, mashallah. What, on YouTube, or are you talking about with GeForce?
No, on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not training with GeForce. It's been 2 years and a half, astaghfirullah, and I have to get back.
Okay.
But, like, I am, like, inshallah, it's there. It's one of those inshallah.
Inshallah, the intention is there. Brother.
Inshallah, yeah. But I need to work on my fitness first, I realize, and it's good where I am at the moment. So, alhamdulillah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You're making me feel like such a useless,
unfit
human being right now.
No, it's been a productive holiday so far. I only got 2 weeks holiday, so next week we'll be back into Madrasa at the new site in the west.
Yes, congratulations. How's that going?
Alhamdulillah, everything's moved. We're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Inshallah. We had a meeting today with teachers.
So when's day one?
3rd of January, Tuesday.
Of the madrasa?
Yeah.
So first year starts day one?
Not first year. The
What's
Madrasa moving
continuing?
hifz is starting,
Yeah.
and already registrations are coming in. Advertisement went out yesterday to the community.
You getting many registrations?
Yeah, already, alhamdulillah. Today phone calls were coming in, and yeah, it was
Oh,
very quick.
mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So it looks like so what happened?
Full-time hifz.
Yeah, over there, inshallah.
Full-time hifz, and you're getting a lot of inquiries for it.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
Yeah, the West won.
The West one that everybody else lost out on.
They missed out. No,
The
inshallah, that
BJJ
everyone,
shit,
there's different
Stick
HIPS programs in. We're talking about the West in Melbourne. Really, alhamdulillah. It's just been a very supportive community, that side, and,
Excellent.
yeah.
Whatever works, man, as long
Yeah,
as
I'll
the
be moving
output's
there,
there.
inshallah, bismillah. Back, I'll be moving back there.
So you're moving back home?
Yeah, inshallah. So
So all the way from Melton
From-
to Heidelberg, now back to Melton. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels good because there's no regret. I tried in the
Yep.
north and in
Okay.
the east, and I wouldn't go to the south. That's like another city. I don't consider Dandenong.
That is another city.
Dandenong's not part of Melbourne. That's like that's put it in the category of Adelaide and Canberra. It's somewhere else.
Okay.
It's too far.
You're going to get slaughtered next time you go to Dandenong.
I
but
mean,
that's
it's
all right.
it's just like a whole nother world. The vibe is totally different.
The vibe is very different.
Have you been? Have you walked down the street and the
many
kebab
times.
smell?
Many times.
The kebabs, like
Yeah, the kebabs, the
smoke.
chicken,
The smoke is going through this.
Everything.
There's nowhere like that in Melbourne. At that level,
No, there isn't.
There isn't. Yeah,
There isn't. Maybe Sydney Road used to be like that 10,
No,
15, 20 years
no.
ago. I don't know.
No.
There would have been a lot of
No,
kebab
yeah.
shops on Sydney Road.
Not like a proper kebab, like Afghan kebab. They have the Turkish
Okay.
ones,
So we actually don't in the north have an
not
area.
the proper ones.
Something like
Like
that.
when I say kebab, I mean like properly skewered meat cooked on. On
Did you just
charcoal.
say not the proper ones to the Turkish kebab?
I'm just we're provoking a reaction.
Mr. Afghan.
Yeah.
All right. So is that what we need? We need to coin a street and call it Kebab Street.
It's
The
kind,
north.
it's kind of the whole vibe is different in Dandenong anyway.
Yep.
It's anyway, leaving that aside, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, the West, it's a bit out west, but the Muslims are moving in large number.
There's a massive amount of Muslims there.
Professionals moving there. I think property is cheap. It's Muslims want to buy a house in halal way. It's a good area. It's changing. The dynamics is changing. Lot of constructions happening. A lot of professionals are going in.
Oh, bro,
I
I
think the
remember-
council likes them coming in because there's a lot of educated people coming in.
Well, not just that. Every time somebody
compared
moves
to before.
in, every time somebody moves in and a house is built, basically that's more rates for the council.
Yeah.
That's more money every year.
Yeah, more rates, more construction.
More revenue.
Yeah,
just more revenue for the area as well. So the councils, how do you know the council likes it? And they're not sitting back thinking these Muslims are taking over.
Yeah, they're paying taxes. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And they're benefiting the community. And there's doctors and professionals and
Yeah?
in that Muslim community, there's a lot of doctors there. So they're happy these type of people come there, set up.
Yeah.
Benefit
Then
the
they're setting
community.
up shop there.
Yeah, services they're providing there, surgeries and
Oh,
whatnot.
excellent.
So there's, it comes with a lot of positives.
Yeah.
Muslims are a net contributor. Like
Yeah.
when they come into an area, it brings positive.
It's a very positive contribution.
positive energy.
Yeah, and not just that, positive in terms of wealth creation within it. It's not just my wealth, they do spend.
Yeah, and then like for example, there's an old people's home there. They would send food there,
Mashallah.
go visit it. Those old people. Probably many of them don't get anybody coming to them.
Really?
You know
so,
how it is.
So there's people visiting them.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, like community spirit that they're creating. Yeah, you got to if you want to remove the other, the Muslims are the other. You just
Just live your life with
food,
the community.
man. Just make a chai. Seriously,
Make a kebab, man. A proper kebab.
Yeah, make a proper kebab and make a chai. Send a chai over, and they
That's
love.
true.
I remember we're in one place, and there's the head pops up. They smelt the good curry. Curry
really?
is the way to dawah. As a
Here we
desi, nobody can deny a good smell of a good curry.
That's
like
true.
the head pops up. Oh, that smells good.
Yeah,
over the
here you go,
fence.
mate.
Yeah. So it's speaking of curry,
Or biryani. Or biryani.
Hyderabadi, they gotta do a little plug for their biryani.
Gotta plug the biryani.
Yeah, like I never heard people. I mean, it's good. It's okay. It's just
Please, brother.
Yeah,
Please.
I saw the Muhammad hijab clip. He said, "What is it?" He goes, "Indian food." He put number one.
Yeah, what did he call it? He
Because
said
it's an experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an experience. It's true. Yeah,
It is an experience. A well cooked Indian food is an experience.
yeah.
Well cooked.
Especially Lucknow biryani. Oof. I don't know. It's all biryani to
That's
me.
the end of this beautiful
Best
relationship.
biryani is my mum's biryani.
Go back to your stair
Anyway.
climber, mate. Oh, plug for your mother. Can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
The guy who invented tikka, was it chicken
The
tikka?
guy who supposedly invented.
Well,
tikka,
supposedly
chicken
invented is
tikka.
enough. It's official, apparently.
Well,
that
it's not official.
The most popular British food is a chicken tikka masala. Basically, chicken tikka, which is basically skewered, speaking of kebabs,
Yep.
skewered chicken. The sauce of that
With gravy.
With gravy. He invented it, Pakistani, rahmatullah alayh, and he passed away. He passed away. So
Rahmatullah.
yeah, so that was all over BBC.
May Allah give him chicken tikka masala in the grave and in akhirah.
I mean, that's kind of scary. I mean, in Jannah, inshallah.
Jannah.
Yeah. Astaghfirullah.
Is there food in the grave?
Is there food in the grave? I don't know. Do you drink or eat anything in the grave?
That's my question to you, Sheikh.
Interesting question. Does a soul, because if the soul goes to Jannah, does it benefit anything of the Jannah? I don't know.
But the soul, so does the soul go to Jannah or it goes to Barzakh?
No, the body's in Barzakh. There's a link anyway. There's a
Just
go to
explain.
my Horrors of the Grave series and you'll find the discussion.
Here we
in
go,
there.
plug for his YouTube channel.
On the other channel.
Did you discuss it?
Yeah, there's actually a part where I discuss the relationship between the soul and it's a complicated. There's difference of opinion on this, so it's not.
Prophet
So
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam alive?
I don't start that. Like, this is not the place to start that. This is not a Q&A for after. Yeah,
I was just thinking about that podcast that I watched.
which one?
The Daniel Haqiqatjou and the
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Salafi one.
Look, if you don't know what we're talking about, don't worry about it. But if you do know what we're talking about, it was kind of a silly, cringe thing to make him.
Oh,
do
they tried to put him on the spot,
and
and he handled himself like a superstar.
and mashallah and barik alayhi,
Mashallah.
like it was a controlled it was a bit of an ambush the way
was
they
an
approached it, and it was throwing different issues. But if you go to the Hanafi Fiqh channel, in the Hanafi Fiqh channel, Sheikh Yasir Hanafi, he gives a very nice, beautiful answer. And he said he appreciates Sheikh Usman and Farooq because many people became Muslim on his hand. But this is a disservice to yourself by indulging in things that actually you're misnaming things. And so it's a mistake, right? But he very politely, extremely respectful. If you look at the video, it's really good. I mean, this is the way differences should be discussed in academic fashion. These are academic debates. That's why I don't want to engage in it, because it requires time.
I'm just
to give.
doing the whole payback for the whole biryani, Lucknow biryani thing.
You're still bitter about that. Yeah. So it's a biryani.
I
And
will
I'm talking about
never-
Aqidah issues.
I
I'm
will-
trying to be diplomatic. Yeah. And this brother
Oh,
is.
mashallah.
This brother's. He's still. He's spiteful. About his.
Don't knock the biryani, bro.
His
So
parents.
anyway, Mr. Chicken Tikka Masala, what's going on?
So he passed away. That's the thing. It's the most popular British curry.
Is
Most
it?
British
I thought
popular food.
butter chicken was.
No, it's like up there with it. I think it's the top. I think it's like a pub, not
Right,
a pub food. It's a hangover.
I'll
cure
get
or
a chicken tikka masala with my business, with my beer, mate.
It's
I was
so
about to say
strange that that's the most popular.
Yeah, it's a national dish.
Yeah, bizarre.
Apparently, they have curry on their chips as well.
I told you that.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was in they have a sauce. I went to, I think it's in Bradford, and this they gave me fish and chips, like the brothers are with local delicacy, and then there's like they take a ladle of curry. There's some salad chucked in there, and then they over the salad and the chips, fish and chips. They just
Fish.
They pour like a
You didn't tell me it was
ladle of
fish.
curry. I think there was fish there. They pour a ladle of curry, and it tastes really good.
No, bro.
It tastes amazing.
Tomato sauce, bro. Tomato sauce.
I
Or tartar sauce.
swear, once you get the curry and fish and chips, you'll never go back. It was actually quite impressive.
Alright.
It was actually good.
Do you think they have curry in Russia?
You just haven't tried it. How can you say
Yeah,
I've had
freckle. I
Australian
can't
tartar sauce and lemon,
Tartar sauce.
lemon.
Yeah,
That's
piece
it.
of lemon.
Yeah, lemon and extra chicken salt.
I'm gonna splurge
wow.
tonight.
Wow, like just too hot, too spicy. No, they actually like it. They've done their own things, you know.
Mashallah.
Yeah, it's worthwhile.
You're right. Looking at your phone, mate.
Yeah,
You
no,
all
we're
right?
just looking at. I was just reading the Stanford University
The woke list.
harmful language. So let's go through this.
Okay, for all of our listeners, we must be very careful and give a content warning. Can't say trigger warning anymore. Take this seriously. We need to change our language.
Yeah.
Just so that we don't hurt people's feelings.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gone. You can't use the word guru. You have to use expert, subject matter expert.
And explain why.
SME, primary, leader, teacher, guide, right? The reason in Buddhist and Hindu traditions, the word is a sign of respect, using casually negates its original value. All right, number one. You can't use the word brave.
Yeah, see, that one just blows me away.
Like you can swap it but do not use. This term perpetuates the stereotype of the noble, courageous savage. That's what you said. That's not what
I had no idea.
Equating the indigenous male as being less than a man. I reckon Avatar and the way that it portrays native people is probably worse than the cartoon than it does using the word brave. So we can't.
Avatar doesn't portray the native people in a negative way.
It's a very there are American Indians offended by it because it's very, and there's a whole white savior thing in there as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The
That's
word
true.
man hours has to become person hours or effort hours or labor time. Yeah.
Why don't we just call it woman hours?
I was going to say something, but this term reinforces male-dominated language. Okay. American, because you swap it with U.S. citizen, because this term often refers to people from the United States only. Thereby
That one I go with.
That the U.S. is the most important country, the Americans, which is actually made up of 42 countries.
See, I get that one. That one.
White space should be called empty space. Assigns value connotation based on color. White equals good, and
So why don't we call it black space?
Isn't a white space like on a paper?
Yeah.
The blank.
The white
areas?
space, yeah.
So like, how does that? It is white.
Or maybe a computer screen.
You got to call it empty space. I mean, and this next one is prostitute should be a person engages in sex work.
I don't want to go there.
Sex worker.
I don't want to go there.
Killing two birds with one stone.
I use that a lot.
I use it a lot as well.
I use that
It's
a
such
lot.
a good word. Good proverb, yeah. Accomplishing two things at once.
I'm accomplishing two things at once.
It doesn't have the same.
Or I'm killing two birds with one stone. Nah, man.
Yeah, there's not the expression normalizes violence against animals. Some vegan wrote that one. Trigger warning.
That's why I said content warning at the start.
Content warning. So no, you have to say content note.
Oh, content note.
Trigger warning. The phrase can cause stress about what's to follow. Additionally, one can never know what may or may not trigger a particular person.
Do you know who? I've just figured out. No, I've just got it. I know who wrote this.
Who?
The guy that wrote this is a socialist.
Why?
Remember that YouTube video of the socialist meeting where they're all clapping like this because they don't want the sensory overload?
Yeah.
And then
people were clapping.
Yeah, and then point of order.
Yeah.
Point of order, and like every 1 minute was a point of order.
Yeah.
And then they had the quiet space at the back for those that couldn't do with noise.
The world's gone nuts. I mean,
I swear.
I mean, just imagine.
I would just go there just to do point of orders and just have a ball. We should go.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like when you
stop?
When you empathy has no limits.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. Like it's like you go over the top and you're trying to censor every single step, and people can't.
But these people would say, "Well, where do you stop? What about everyone else that's being left out? That's not fair on them."
I think this is a bit over the top. I mean, this is unreasonable.
This
is unreasonable. Like this is. I think there was one for Karen as well, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, the Karen was angry white lady,
and that's not racist. Like there's racist.
An angry white lady,
and
yeah, that's right. That's reverse racism.
Yeah,
because you can have a black
and
person.
You can't use master bedroom or master anything.
Yeah,
because slavery.
So they're going to change, the thing for kids where they call them master, Mr., Mrs. Master.
Oh no!
What is it? Oh, you know what the next step's going to be?
What?
That you won't be able to assign gender at birth. The child will. It just came to me an epiphany, like out of nowhere. So I haven't read this anywhere. mark my words, we'll come to a time where the parents will say, when it will say gender, and they'll say unassigned because the child's going to decide when they're older. Think about it. Think about the direction we're heading in. You won't be able to say male or female.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting a little bit silly. It's getting silly. Because there's actually serious problems in the world. These ain't one of them. These are not helping. This is a way.
Poverty, hunger, war, people going to sleep hungry, orphans.
Serious issues in the world. Like these are generally Westerners who are got no issues
with the Western privilege.
Instead of doing, I was watching something that in phones, like the people that are tweeting on their phones about oppression, what's in the phone, what it's made from,
the cobalt,
yeah,
cobalt batteries,
and other things in it, slave labor,
child slave labor.
Yeah, so there are serious problems in the world, and like we are not attending to those, and these ones are the like virtue signaling, making you feel good about yourself that you're actually doing some sort of cause.
It is more about
but
making yourself
it
feel
doesn't
good.
do anything.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You're in your ivory towers in Stanford.
Using your Apple mobile
phone. You
phone.
don't understand what the average person is going through, like and the people in. I mean, this is more to do with the States, right? So in the Rust Belt, what people call the people living in caravan parks, the people that are homeless, you got nothing to do with them. If they came in your neighborhood, you're the ones going to be kicking them out.
100%.
So
you're the ones that are going to call the police first, or you're going to open your door and say, "Come in."
Yeah, so you don't really like this is all like virtue signaling, and if you want to do something, you'll do it. And the people who do, they don't talk about it, and they don't do things like this. They actually go out there and do it. You know, they actually help and alleviate people's problems. But I was just thinking, like this: if this wave comes, it's coming. I mean, it's come. Muslims are in it as well, right?
What wave?
But this wave of wokeism and thing. It's been here for a while. It's been here for the last decade or so. But accelerate last few years. But I don't think in Australia, most people will probably.
No, but you'll be surprised.
Depends.
Far North Queensland. Pauline Hanson territory, Jackie Lambie territory, that's where you got to move.
That's the.
Just got to go
that's where you make hijrah now.
That's where you got to make hijrah.
That's the Najashi.
I'd probably go to Jackie Lambie. I'll be
Hanson.
Like, Jackie, I got your back. I got 4,000 relatives. They're all going to vote for you. We're taking over Tasmania, but we'll be right.
Yeah.
Got your back. Where is she going to go?
The Nagus of Australia.
Tasmania. We come from a land.
No, I don't think majority people. This is silly.
What, the loud minority?
They are a loud minority who they're in their bubble, you know, the inner city.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think a lot of it won't work. It won't work. And Muslims have another layer of filter. Like we have our own. We look at everything.
Have you spoken to Muslims lately?
Yeah, I have. And
you're telling me we still have some have another layer of filter. Others have gone more woke. May
Allah give him that filter of Islam.
I mean,
and
because there are plenty that are more woke than the wokest non-Muslim you've ever met.
Yeah, really? Allah hadi him. Allah guide. How many do you know? A few. Yeah.
We have interesting conversations.
I mean, there are the worst ones. You see them, but I've never met one. Is that they say, to call God a she, right? The he is a translation of Arabic. Huwa. Qul huwa Allah. Say he is Allah the one. There's those ones, you know, those weird.
I've never met a Muslim that says that.
No, online they said they use she for Allah. Astaghfirullah. So that's you know, that those weirdos do exist, but I've never met one in the community. Like they're probably 0.001. There's probably like 10 of them in Australia.
And I reckon they're very angry people. Think about it.
Yeah. I mean, instead of, you know what we're supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be changing ourselves to become Muslims, right? We're supposed to work on, make dua for, Allah rectify me.
Yep.
I don't live up to the standards of Islam. None of us do. And Ya Allah, help me and guide me, right? It's called humbleness in Islam. It's humbleness before God. I don't know, Ya Allah, I don't know, you know. I don't know the future. This is about sin dua of istikhara. Ya Allah, you have the knowledge, I have none. You have the power, I have none. It's a humbleness that a Muslim carries himself in every decision, that he turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then deen is there as the guide for him or her or ze. I'm just joking, zim and ze. No. For him and her is there. And this is a...
And you're talking to me about being in a serious conversation.
But it's you are like, and we are weak. and we commit sins. But the best of the person who commits sins and does wrong is the one who makes tawbah. Ask Allah
Allahu
forgiveness,
Akbar.
try to make amends with Allah, tries to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what we're supposed to do. That's our whole existence, is make effort towards Him on His terms, not on our own terms. If you're bringing some other terms, I'm not meaning words, I mean your own conditions, then you're not someone who has Islam. You're not the one who has submission.
Submitted.
You have not submitted to Allah, and you have not submitted to the Rasul that came with Islam. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And so, therefore, it's not even Islam. That's not even Islam. You know, you're trying to change Islam to suit you and what you think Islam should be. And the kuffar tried to do that with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. People tried that with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. They said, we won't pay zakat. He goes, even if they don't pay the rope of the camel, he goes, I will fight them for it. Because that's Rasulullah instituted that. That is not an option in Islam to give up when he became the Khalifa, and he ordered.
But I think we're so far away from even an understanding of that. That is what a Muslim is supposed to do. We've become more church and state.
It's jahalat.
We're becoming secular. Church and state, Muslims.
What's a definition of a jahil? Someone who's jahil.
Ignorant.
The person who, what he thinks is not accordance to reality.
Of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
No, just reality. No, reality of Allah and Islam is reality.
Okay. Yep.
So if a person's own worldview doesn't match with Islam, that is jahalat. His understanding doesn't match with understanding of Islam, which is reality.
But then people would come back with it's a different interpretation.
But the interpretation,
like for example, let's use music.
Yeah, what about it?
Some people think it's fine.
But there's sahih hadith, authentic hadith about being haram. What are you talking about? There's like 6-7 hadiths. So that means you're ignorant of those hadiths.
Yes.
And you have very little wiggling room with those hadiths.
Very straight, clear cut.
Yeah, there's sahih, authentic hadith firstly, so you can't put them out. They're interpreting ayat
Musical
of Quran.
instruments, I should say.
There's an ayat of Quran for it. Then there's also, exactly, nasheeds or voice vocals, that's fine. But the point being is that if your worldview is not in accordance with Islam or reality, because Islam is reality, right? Allah is real, Jannah is real, Jahannam is real, the Sharia is real. Yeah, there's difference of opinion in a certain range, but like core things that were never, that everybody agrees upon for 1400 years.
But I think on that, what you're saying there, I get that. And I'm not taking sides here or whatever. However, a lot of people would say that's your understanding of Islam. That's your interpretation of Islam.
No, it's not.
My
regarding what?
interpretation
Regarding which issue? So, for example, someone says zina is...
I'm not talking about zina.
I'm
Zina's
giving an
pretty clear
example.
cut.
I'm giving an example. Let me finish.
Finish, brother.
Yeah. Zina is haram.
Yep.
There is no if buts about that.
Okay.
There is no justification for that. If someone says zina is permissible, it takes a person out of Islam. If someone does it, it's a major sin. As long as it doesn't consider part of it, it's permissible. There's no room for interpretation for that. There's actually a specific punishment for it. Not one, severe punishment by the ruler that is to be for the person who commits zina.
Okay.
It's extremely offensive to Allah. There's no room for interpretation. Like it's
I get that.
There is and interpretation is only valid if it comes from the right. You actually have to have a research on it. It's not just based on what I feel like.
Yeah, but then you have other alims or other ulama or scholars that will have a different opinion to what you're saying because
difference of opinion is fine.
No, because of their interpretation,
valid.
but it'll be pretty full on. Like it's pretty far out there.
But
they're a scholar.
No, but the thing is,
weed is halal.
Huh?
Weed is halal.
Who said?
It's out there in the ether.
Okay.
Because it's natural. It's not alcohol. No. Listen. It's not
alcohol.
It's not alcohol.
It's intoxicating.
It's green from the plants. Allah wouldn't have made it if we didn't want us to smoke it.
Allah made uranium. You don't drink it.
Yeah.
You can.
My argument. No, listen. My
argument
with that is, Allah made pigs as well, but we're not supposed to eat them, and we know we're not allowed to eat them. They're not halal.
Yeah,
that's what I come back with.
That's why there's a rigorous process, and for the main body of the Muslim, the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, there are 4 valid schools of, and they have a procedure, schools of thought of fiqh, of jurisprudence. There's systematic way they go through rulings, and those system is actually based in the Quran and Sunnah, and it's not just haphazard.
So weed is haram.
Weed is haram.
I just want to make that clear for the podcast.
Yeah,
Not for
weed is
myself,
haram.
relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Joe Rogan does it on his podcast.
Yeah. So look, and they keep changing that. You know, every year here different. One year they say a glass of wine before sleep is good for your heart. Next year they say nah, all alcohol is bad. Next year they say nah, it's a little bit is, you know.
It's all right.
Yeah. Then they change it again. They keep flipping and flopping. It's haram, right?
I don't drink. You're looking at me like
As we chose some extreme examples of very serious.
But this is the thing. The extreme examples, people agree, yeah, it's haram, we shouldn't do it. People do it. It's not good.
Yeah.
However, it's the other
Look,
wishy-washy
interpretation is fine, but there's a system of interpretation. And that system can be accepted or rejected. The modernist interpretations...
But they are classically trained
They are rejected.
ulama.
They're rejected by the... You have to put it into the scale of classically trained ulama. Not every classically trained alim is to be taken seriously. You have to look at... There's like hundreds of thousands of alims.
True.
And you have to look at the main body, the Muslims, the main scholarships, the seniors of this ummah as well, the senior scholars who spend 40, 50 years research. And they've... and you look at them in a broader sense, and then you realize... And this is one of the signs of their judgment. Scholars... Like in short, scholars for dollars, people who sell their akhirah.
Yeah.
So, and that's also, there's a hadith, you know, that certain people come, not just certain people, certain muftis. And even if the fatwa tells you it's halal, but your heart is not comfortable, go with what's in your heart. Meaning moral, I'm shortening.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you do something, sin is that which your heart is perturbed by. Like Allah's put something inside of us that actually makes us uncomfortable.
So
Like we're not, like, I know brothers, they keep coming to me about mortgages, getting a house on a mortgage. Sometimes from bank, obviously, they perturbed by it, obviously, because it's riba. Sometimes in Islamic finance, quote unquote, they come to me. They said, but I'm not convinced. I said, then that's inside of you. Allah's telling, there's something in there that's telling you, and then we are told actually to pay attention to that, not to ignore it. Right? We're given something. Allah's given us something inside that to make us, even though the muftis may give the fatwa otherwise.
see, I just go with the mufti's fatwa.
Huh?
I just go with the mufti's fatwa.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Like,
Makes life
yeah,
simpler for me.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. If a mufti says yes, okay, happy with that. As trusted mufti, somebody that I know.
When it comes to cautiousness, listen to the voice inside. When it comes to the voice that's telling you, nah, it's all right, mate.
That's my voice.
That's nafs and shaitan probably talking.
My voice is, I've called the mufti, he said it's fine.
Yeah.
Light her up.
No, but the voice inside said, listen,
that was a joke.
To be more cautious, pay attention to that. Okay. And if the voice is telling you, like there's no, because the Rasul didn't mention the other side about good deed, he only mentioned about sin, right?
Yeah, okay.
So like if the voice is telling you, maybe someone is doing waswasa, so be cautious of that. You know, if it's what's the word for it? If it's addressing your baser self, your desire to acquire things and so forth, then you might want to put some brakes on. Just be careful with what that voice is saying.
I don't have that many desires.
Or people that have dreams and so forth, you know.
Oh, bro.
Don't take photos from your dreams.
Do not. And, please. The fact that you spoke about dreams. I've had communications.
Oh, no. Ilham.
Not me. I've had communications with my right? Yeah. Where people are like, the dream said this, the dream said that. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm not even going to reply to that.
Yeah. Even like if you make istikhara, like people are making istikhara.
Waiting for the dream.
I asked Mufti Najib, he was here in Melbourne, like one of my teachers and friends, and you knew him as well, more than 20 years ago. He came in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he said, like when I asked him at istikhara, because istikhara is to entrust your affairs over to Allah subhanahu. That's it. It's not about dreams or this and that. Yeah, possible dream can be there, but you have to be very careful with that stuff.
Yeah, man.
Because we don't know how to interpret them. We don't even sometimes know what... You look at the dream book...
You know what everyone does? You know what a lot of people do?
What?
Ibn Sirim's Dictionary of Dreams.
Of course, yeah. And then
straight away.
And then if you look at it, it goes...
It goes off on some certain tangents.
And two opposites.
Yeah.
It's a whole science, right? So... Yeah, I would be very cautious with that, you know. But anyway.
So can I call you for dream interpretations?
No, but you can. They should create an AI for it. They should. Have you seen
that's
this?
Disgusting.
What?
The AIs.
What do you mean?
Their responses to Muslims.
Yeah, so what's happening now? I mean,
frustrating.
I don't know if you can really call it AI. Is it just like is there like a complicated Siri? You know,
It's not AI because what it's doing is getting all of its information from what's on the internet. So it's all this and what's been published and what's been produced. Right. Yeah. Okay. We better backtrack a little bit. Blah, blah, blah.
So these AIs are being tested now on various things. I'm predicting there's going to be an AI Mufti where you can go for your fatwa. Islam QA is going to have an AI.
God. Allah protect us.
Yeah. So they did an AI thing. Like obviously you can see already they're doing AI paintings. There's galleries now.
There's some amazing AI paintings, and they're trippy as.
Yeah, and they're doing AI
buildings.
Buildings, like designing AI designing buildings, and they look amazing. Did you see the pictures
crazy,
of it? They look,
and it covers so many different things that for society, like fungus on the outside or mold on the outside to get carbon capture, transfer it into oxygen. Like they've actually looked into it.
Wow, like fascinating. And then there's like AI online, like basically information repository or like system. I think what it does, it just pulls in a lot of information. They did this with a bot or something that they made from Twitter. But Twitter is such a dump that what happened was the AI became racist. Like so much information fed into it that was racist. It became like a racist AI. But so then then
started calling everything white space.
Yeah, just triggering people.
Content noting
people. But it's strange, isn't it? Like, is a mufti just a repository of information, and is he just going through the books?
No, because every single fatwa is different according to the individual.
But what if the AI becomes so impressive that it can factor in all the variables?
It can't.
No, you say you can't now. I'm talking about like in 10 years, 20, 50 years, such an AI that it can actually factor in all the possibilities. The variables can be put in there.
Yeah, that's
how long before?
But how does it figure out the nuances? And how does it not get hacked?
What was that movie that was made about people became dumb in the future? Idiocracy?
Yes. And that is a phenomenal movie.
You can see where this is heading because let's say all the teaching, there's an AI for a teacher who does a better job than an actual teacher.
Yeah, but then who's the guy that programmed that AI and what information is being fed?
Yeah, let's assume all the positives, right? Okay. They follow the department and the standards of teaching and all of that. Like it's just becoming...
It's like perfect.
It's a perfect AI as a teacher and can factor in all the... imagine the AI breaks down, then you get an emergency teacher. What do they call them? The
sub.
The sub comes in and they get like those people get traumatized.
They don't call it sub anymore.
We call it emergency teacher.
Okay, no, ours was sub. There's substitute. There's another one. There's another word the kids are using now. I can't even remember.
Probably a woke word. Yeah. But anyway, because the other one's demeaning. They like if you can organize. Let's say, for example, I'm studying inheritance. Inheritance is just numbers.
Okay.
That could very easily be programmed.
Well, Excel spreadsheet just spits out this much.
Well, some people already done that, right? That's not AI, but let's just say you ask and they actually talk to it or just type it. And that's possible. Well, that's probably somebody might have done that already because that's the easiest part to do because it's just calculations pretty much, right? So, and then it could be programmed to the point of that people don't carry the knowledge in their head.
And then that knowledge is lost.
And as is happening now.
Yeah, look at buildings. Straight like old school buildings.
Yeah,
I have seen buildings. I saw one. Subhanallah, that's a good point. What you just said. I've seen one masjid, 1100 years old, over 1100 years old in India. Right, this structure is phenomenal. We're talking posts, tree trunks, man, massive, but polished perfectly. But if you look at the roof, the way the walls are, each piece of wood fits into the other like a Lego, and each piece of wood's weight is supporting the other. There's no nails.
I just pictured Lego mosque, but anyway.
Bro, there's no nails.
Wow.
The way that it's put together. Yeah. And I was looking at this and the only thing I could think, at that point in time, I was like, this knowledge is lost.
I don't think so.
Yes.
But I don't think it's lost. But it's
we
probably
don't
not,
have it.
It's probably...
It's not mainstream.
It's craftsmanship. No, they... For example, like when I think 1967 war in Palestine, like when they took over Jerusalem, they burned down the mimbar of Salahuddin Ayyubi, or Nuruddin Zangi's uncle. So when they burnt it, or partially or most of it, the Jordanian, there's like a royal society, something they pulled out the manuscripts of how to make it.
Yeah.
And they rebuilt the same one, and there's no nails in apparently.
Yeah.
So it is there.
Unbelievable.
And then because of that, I think in other projects they created the whole society of Islamic artists.
Yeah.
So they've revived a lot of lost sciences. But anyway, so what I'm saying,
But that's what I'm saying with the books.
Yeah, that will be lost. And what will happen? And this happened. You know where this happened? A few years ago. And I've got to find this. Maybe in a future podcast we can talk about it, because it's in a way it already exists in the financial sector. That there's so many little parts, so many computers doing all the calculations and the investments and so forth in the last 20 years. So something happened. There was a crash, a famous crash. I'll find it. It wasn't a crash like a big economic crash.
Yeah, it was just the bot stuffed up.
But it was so nobody knew actually where to start or end or to fix it.
Wow.
It was a cascade effect of like all of these things just falling apart. Now imagine like these skills being lost to the point of where, all right, we've created a repository of information, a teacher. Tomorrow, let's say we get one of those solar flare
Sunstorms here.
hits, all of this shuts down. We have no more teachers left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there is like something.
And then we have no more books left. Everything's going online.
Yeah.
Even all new discoveries, modern discoveries, they're not being printed anymore. Everything is online.
There's no Britannica. There's no books even.
So what happens? Textbooks. Kids aren't using textbooks anymore. They're using laptops.
Yeah.
So what, like you said, what happens if there is a solar flare?
Well,
we have no access to any of these.
There are places, subhanAllah. I was talking to one of the Muftis who was telling me from Sydney, Mufti Asad, mashallah, brilliant alim. He was telling me because the way he had to write, he's relatively young, like he's around 40 or under 40. He was telling me about the way he had to write fatwa, like recently, in the last 10 years. He said, or 15 years. He said that when the teachers made him, like he had to use this board thing, that how fatwa was written like 100, 200 years ago. And then he goes, there's strings there for ruling the lines for the fatwa.
Oh, wow.
And then he said that his teacher was like very finicky about the calligraphy of the fatwa. He said, when I presented like 100 fatwas or something like that to teachers, like he got angry, like he threw it back. He said, did you write it with your feet? You know, like as our people would, you know, like, but like the standard was expected in handwriting. And then also you have to, like, for example, when I'm like researching for fatwas for my teacher, then all my stuff is online searching. I know the books exist on the shelf, but it's quicker to find it online, to the point of that, like, I'm not comfortable actually using the books.
Come on.
It's quicker for me because my background is IT. I've been in computers for 25 years. So for me to do this online stuff is much more quicker. But if the internet goes out, I mean, I can find my way, obviously. I mean, the Islamic books, I know the structure of the books. Because when you're Googling when you're searching through text, there's online libraries of fatwa text. So they're Muslims, they run these websites. So, no, not Control F. The book is there. There's a search bar there. You search, it takes you to page. These are scans of the books, right? Okay. But everything is like searchable. So you can actually go through it and find it. But the problem is what you lose? You don't have a good understanding of the structure of the book, because when you have to go through the old book, you're going through the book. You know, this chapter comes first, this one comes after. For example, like in certain fiqh books, there's a section on salam. Where do you think the salam section will be? Giving salam to a person? No. Why? What's the logic?
Assalamu alaikum.
At the beginning of the book. Hey, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my book. No, salam is where you visit. In some books, it's where the grave. When you visit the grave, you salam. After that, the rulings of salam is put, because it's like there's an association, word association or action association, right? But if you don't know, if you just go directly to that section, you don't know what's before and after it.
You say it's at the beginning.
You don't know
of the
structure. Part of the iftar work is actually, or fatwa work, is to have a structure in mind of all the books. And not just that, to understand how the author, like our teachers, they teach us, this author writes like this. So what they do is according to this author, the first view is the final view of the school, of the madhab. Then he lists all the other ones. Yeah. But all you need to worry about the first one, if you want to write a fatwa and reference it, he goes through the other ones. Or for example, when he mentions 5-6 different views, interpretations in the book, the one that he gives an argument for is the one that is the fatwa of the school. He's defending that position. Okay. Or, for example, he will give all the views and the final one is actually, it's opposite to the other book. But if you don't know that this is what the author is doing, so you understand the structure of the book, the structure of the author, how he writes. That's why Tafsir al-Jalalain, the tafsir of the two Jalals, why it's called the Tafsir al-Jalalain, right? Because there's two Jalals that wrote it. Okay. One finished half the Quran, passed away. The other one took the book and finished it on the exact same pattern as the first one. So it shows the brilliance of like the second person.
Yeah, okay.
Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmallah, the two big Shafi Imams. So may Allah fill their graves with nur. So this is like a standard text in madrasas, but it's written by, it's called Jalalain Tafsir, or the two Jalals. So subhanallah, they understood not just the issue there, they understood the whole process of the alim, that the intellectual.
So getting back to AI, so AI is not going to know all this.
Well, AI is going to remove. If we're going to, like I give the example of me searching even as well.
There'll be no heart in it.
Yeah, but if it's based on information, the information that you input and then it spits it out, there's a case. I get it. I get.
It's one of those things where the heart.
I'm not defending AI.
I know, but
I'm
this is
scared
one
of
of the
it.
things for me. The heart would be like, nah, this one definitely. You said yes to all the other Mufti stuff. Don't go with this one.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, still, like we need the
AI is very scary.
You need to teach people the old ways to make sure that we don't lose that.
That's right.
Yeah, you need to have memorization.
Have you got laptops in your madrasa? Is that what they're using?
We had computers at one point. Yeah.
Now what about for the alim course?
They're allowed. They're allowed.
Maybe they shouldn't be allowed.
Sometimes we can't get the textbooks, so they have textbooks, they're PDFs.
So maybe you should make more effort to get the textbooks.
We should make more effort. I mean, it's on them. Some of them make the effort to get it. We try to facilitate it, but I left it a little bit open.
Speaking of handwriting, I used to look at my handwriting and then look at my parents' handwriting and think, oh man, mine's so bad.
Like proper cursive.
How did they get this handwriting so perfect?
What grade did you get your pen license?
I don't know, man. I went to too many schools to get the pen license.
You didn't get one?
Nah. Have you seen handwriting?
I don't know. Like we can work together.
Huh? No, not my handwriting. I'm saying, have you seen handwriting?
I got in
of people
grade
now?
4. It was a bit late.
Oh my god! You're still no, but have you seen the handwriting of kids nowadays? Majority of kids.
No. Their spelling worries me.
You need to look at if you look at year 10, 11 handwriting.
Yeah.
And spelling. You're gonna have what? You'll be worried.
Really?
You'll be worried.
Are they texting?
Everyone's just used to typing.
And are they texting? Like, is they using text languages? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but
they shorten the word.
Yeah, but the thing is, and then he said "lol."
Right? What, in like a proper writing?
Yeah.
LOL.
Right, and you look at it and you're like, read that loudly to yourself, and then he said like, no, read it loudly again. Not lol. What is lol? And then he said, laugh out loud. And then they're like, does that make sense? Think about how scary that is.
Yeah.
Idiocracy, man. Idiocracy.
Yeah, it's coming. I think like the Muslim AI, I mean.
So let's get back to this AI that was talking about the Muslim. Basically, Muslims are terrorists.
So Mufti.
Muslims are bad. So that's what this AI
have a Salafi AI?
No, I'm talking about the AI that
that AI that they asked the question.
We need to finish that.
Yeah.
When they ask questions about Islam, it basically came back with Muslims are terrorists or all negative things because that's what's out of the ether.
Yeah.
The majority of documentation that this is drawn from.
Yeah, if you watch Smile to Jannah this week or last week.
He did a good one on that. Explained it.
He actually asked questions about Andrew Tate and different things. But
Top G.
Yeah, so some of them they came out with some very vanilla answers, and it's based on information that it's like a repository of information. Is it really searching through the net and trying to figure out?
Or has it been pre-programmed and we're made to think it's searching through the net?
And existential, like about God and so forth, and he gives like a very curated answer. Some of them are curated, you can tell. So I think but what I was saying was like if you take it the next, let's say AI becomes common, everyone starts using it. Like the Tablighi start using it, the Salafi start using it, like they have online AI that starts
people are using
like a Takfiri AI.
People use Siri and what is it? Alexa.
Yeah.
All that stuff is like, no, my son's doing it.
Yeah.
Alexa, shut up.
Yeah.
For the alarm. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, Alexa set the alarm for this time. Alexa, what is this?
Bad manners.
Alexa, turn my light on.
Bad akhlaq.
Alexa, switch my light on. The thing switches on the lamp.
Oh, really? Who, at home?
At home.
Okay.
He's like, Alexa, switch the lamp on. And then bang.
Son?
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I'm never having a conversation with you in your room.
Yeah, they're recording it. Apparently,
everything's been recorded.
Yeah.
Like this podcast.
It's like a horror movie.
It is a horror movie.
It knows too much about you.
This is and the only salvation out of this horror movie is that solar flare.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Well, it's not that bad, but it's not that bad.
Yeah,
At the moment, it's not that bad.
2 AIs, I think it was Google or Microsoft, in a non-link to the outside world room, they had 2 AIs talking to each other.
Yeah.
After 10, 15
we
minutes,
mentioned that before.
yeah, the 2 AIs made their own language
Yeah.
and they pulled the plug.
Yeah.
What the hell were these guys talking about? How do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Are you conscious?
Yeah.
I'm conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to drink tonight?
What is it? Star. What's that?
What is it?
What's Starlink?
Starnet.
Starnet.
No, it's not Starnet.
SpaceNet. Anyway.
And speaking of Starlink, bloody Elon Musk he's covered the Earth in satellites.
His own satellites. Yeah. Private satellites. Yeah.
I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah.
2 rakat salat, ask Allah for a good death, ask Allah for a death with Iman.
Yes.
May our children live a life that is pleasing to Him. May deen increase.
I mean.
May we be saved from the punishment of the grave. May Allah cover our sins in dunya
Yeah, I think
and akhirah.
I think we have to work backwards. I always remind this myself and others. We have to work backwards. First thing is on the day of judgment. I sent something to my sons. I was thinking yesterday. It was a bit of an epiphany. Like, just thinking out loud. Where's my phone not working? Okay. It was
Because the AI's taken over.
like, look into your heart and what do you see? Like, what are your priorities? What do you admire? What do you love? That'll be extracted at the time of death, and that you'll have to show on the day to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And will He be pleased or not with you? Like think about that. Like, that's where you have to start and then work backwards from that.
So
and
what
what
do
are
I
your
need to
steps?
do?
What is that? Like, you got to have the vision. I want to stand before Allah and I want Allah to be pleased with me. I want my kids to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want them to I want the ummah to stand before Allah and Allah is pleased with them. What do you need to do before that? Obviously, have proper belief in Allah. Have the sunnah of Rasulullah. Sunnah doesn't mean like sunnahs. Like we generally, my father always used to emphasize this. One is the sunnah in the sense of like, doing miswak is sunnah, it's not fard. One is that the whole of deen is a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And the angel will come on the day of judgment, separate the person from the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will recognize them that they're from his ummah. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the angels will come intervene, and they will not allow that person to come close to Rasulullah. You don't know what they corrupted of the sunnah after you left, after you passed away. So he recognizes them, he wants it to be them, but the angel said no. There's a law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in place there that they're not allowed to come close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now, like, how similar are we to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How similar are we to the people that Rasulullah trained, the Sahaba radiallahu anhu? Like, are we on even the same page? So these Muslims, we need to help the Muslims, the Ummah, to start thinking and behaving along those priorities. That's the thing. Like I think, and what is a priority? Firstly and ultimately is the rida of Allah. Try to succeed in akhirah, in Jannah, at the cost of this dunya. People upset and so forth. We don't go out to upset people, but there is right and wrong. And that's the beauty of Islam. Like, we can't change it for anybody. Nobody can change it.
Yep.
These interpretations that people want to interpret away, that's happened right from the beginning. Right from the kuffar, they try to make alliance with Rasulullah sallam. They will compromise. One day you worship one year you worship our God, one year you worship your God. It's not happening, right? Islam is Islam. End of story. There are there's some minor differences, but majority of things we agree on. We agree upon. So it's these people that break the ranks. They have other priorities other than Islam and other than Deen and other than Akhirah. If you put Akhirah in front, the rida of Allah and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu and Jannah, then all the isms and all the pressures of the world disappear away. Oh no, I've got another metric that I have to.
Yeah.
These are the metrics that I'm measured by for my success of Akhirah and Dunya. So, but it
simplifies everything, doesn't it?
But if you look at everybody of this world and trying to appease this thing and that thing, and these are feminists, I got to appease them, and this is misogynist, I got to, there's nothing to. No, we got Deen, alhamdulillah, like that's it, and we have to be assertive about that, inshallah.
Inshallah. On that note, thank you for watching.
Thanks. There's a khutbah.
That was a good spot to finish. That was actually quite good.
Like
thank you for your words of wisdom, Dr. Mufti Sheikh Khalid. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Assalamu alaikum.
And we'll see you in the new year, inshallah.
Oh yeah. But do we say new year?
We'll say, inshallah, we have a fruitful and successful new year, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And
what are you doing New Year's Eve?
No, nothing.
You're not going out?
No, no.
Haven't booked any parties?
No.
No barbecue?
I come outside sometimes to look at the free fireworks because it just.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, no.
There's a lot of fireworks that have increased around Melbourne.
Oh,
Everyone's
okay.
doing them.
I think it's like a COVID. They're
It is.
It's a waste of money, but anyway.
Enjoy it for free.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.